Oh boy, guys. I said this was going to happen. I've been saying it for the past, I don't even know how many weeks. Probably since Bobby Fish arrived in AEW and aligned with Adam Cole. But before we get to that, the Holiday Bash edition of AEW Dynamite kicked off with Adam Cole facing off against Orange Cassidy. And in the end, Orange had Cole reeling and was about to hit him with the Orange Punch, but Cole got out of the ring and Bobby Fish came out to distract the ref. And then Kyle O'Reilly made his debut in AEW, and he attacked Orange Cassidy with that axe and smash thing that he does, and then Cole finished him off with the boom kick. I absolutely hate that name. That's so dumb. Why couldn't you just call it like the final shot or something if the last shot is copyrighted by WWE? Whatever, I'm still calling it the last shot. Cole hit the last shot on Orange Cassidy and pinned him for the win. And then the best friends came out to try to help Orange Cassidy, but Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly... God, that feels so good to say again. Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly took out the best friends as well, and they stood in the ring for their AEW debut in the exact same way they stood in the ring for their NXT debut 4 years ago. And I feel like AEW did that just to fuck with WWE, and I love it. But then the Young Bucks came out, and just like I also predicted, Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly walked off together without Nick or Matt. So yeah, just like I thought, Cole is going to be leaving the Elite, and he's going to be reforming the Undisputed Era within AEW. And that's just so insane, dude. To be honest, I knew this was going to happen the moment I saw Bobby Fish reunite with Adam Cole, and I saw that Kyle O'Reilly's contract with NXT was going to be expiring. Like, at that point, it was so obvious what was going to happen. Kyle O'Reilly had absolutely no reason to stay. Given the track record of a majority of the NXT call-ups and the fact that Kyle O'Reilly is probably everything that Vince McMahon doesn't see in a WrestleMania main eventer or a world champion, I think the decision was pretty clear for Kyle O'Reilly. He was obviously going to leave WWE and join his friends in AEW. At this point, the only person left in the Undisputed Era who hasn't made his way over to AEW is Roderick Strong. But I actually heard that he actually inked a new deal with WWE. But just given the fact that he's going to be in a title unification match at New Year's Evil, where his title is more than likely going to be wiped from existence because they haven't been doing anything with the Cruiserweight division, and if anything, they've been releasing them and sending them over to AEW, just like all the other stars that they have. So with Roderick Strong's title about to be retired, I can't imagine Strong has much of a future in WWE. Probably shouldn't have signed a new deal then. I mean, your friends are all here in AEW and they're having the time of their lives. You also really got a feel for Triple H too. Like, first off, you know that new NXT shit was not his idea, alright? I don't care what people want to say. You do not change this radically from this to this unless you're having like a serious midlife crisis, okay? This is obviously Vince McMahon's Nickelodeon NXT shit, all right? It's got Vince McMahon written all over it. But to think that like at the beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars, the guys that Triple H put at the forefront to combat the competition are now almost all in AEW, or their future in WWE is almost completely gone. I mean, gosh, you really got a feel for the guy. His baby, his brand, all his best soldiers have all gone away or have all gone to shit. But thankfully, I'm not Triple H. I'm a fucking ride or die AEW fan who's been here since the beginning. And baby, I just love seeing this company kick some more ass. Now at this point, it's just time for the dream matches. I mean, we got the Elite versus the Undisputed Era. We've got Red Dragon reigniting their Ring of Honor rivalry with the Young Bucks. Like, it's all gonna be so good. I can't fucking wait for that. I also want to take some time, real quick, one last thing, just to thank AEW. You know, like, I think CM Punk spoke for a lot of wrestlers and for a lot of fans when he said that WWE had stamped out a lot of the passion that we have for professional wrestling. But truthfully, AEW just completely brought it back. I could honestly tell you, if AEW did not exist right now, I would honestly be completely done with professional wrestling. Like, I would not watch it anymore. And that was a really scary thought, you know? I mean, I've been watching it since 2007? Like, I've been watching it since I was a little kid, and the idea of letting go of something that I loved for so long was kind of scary. But it had just gotten to a point where, like CM Punk said, this shit just wasn't fun anymore. I mean, if it wasn't goofy and stupid and lame, it was just incomprehensible and frustrating. But AEW they brought back that edge to professional wrestling that's been missing for so long. They brought back a lot of the fun that pro wrestling used to be about. And I would have been fine with that, but they went above and beyond the Call of Duty, alright? Like, they brought my all-time favorite wrestler out of retirement. They let another one of my favorite wrestlers reach his full potential by letting him be as unrestricted and uncensored as he possibly wanted. And they brought in another one of my favorite wrestlers, and not only that, they brought in all the members of all the best factions that he's been a part of. And that's just amazing. They've done like everything that I've wanted them to do and more. And I just love this company so much. Anyways, moving on, Tony Schiavone interviewed Hangman Adam Page next, and Page and Bryan basically talked about their match from last week, which, as good as it was, I hated the ending because you spent all that time crafting a great match only for there to be no winner. And again, I understand that they're trying to protect both guys because they can't have Danielson lose when he's one of the biggest names in your organization, and you obviously can't have your world champion lose, but still, it's just so unsatisfying to see no winner. I didn't like it with the Danielson Omega match, and I don't like it now. And it's also worse this time because they spent all those weeks building up a tournament, and Danielson had to scratch and claw his way to the finals only for it to end in a draw when it came time for the title match, which again is just really unsatisfying and just a really anticlimactic ending to these months of buildup. But basically, Page accepted a challenge from Danielson that he could beat Danielson in less than an hour in 2 weeks. And apparently, if he can't, then they'll have 3 judges give a decision on who won the match. Kind of like how the UFC does it. So one way or another, we're going to have a winner to this match. So I'm at least grateful for that. And then Wardlow took on Shawn Dean. And again, this was just another squash match. Wardlow just completely destroyed Dean with power bombs and then pinned him for the win. And then after the match, we had the same thing that happens after every Wardlow match where Spears hit Dean with a steel chair. Sorry, sometimes I just really can't tell these guys apart. And then American Top Team's Dan Lambert was with the Men of the Year, and basically he hyped his guys up to be next in line for a TNT Championship match after Cody Rhodes takes a crack at Sammy Guevara, which honestly doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know what Cody has done to earn another TNT title match, and it's certainly not going to help his reception with the audience. But if I had to guess which of the Men of the Year was going to be challenging for the title next, I would assume it would probably be Scorpio Sky, since I'm pretty sure Ethan Page already got a chance recently. But then again, Scorpio Sky did win that giant Sonic Ring match, and he still failed to become TNT champion, so... And then AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone had a Christmas party, and Britt basically quelled any rumors that Riho was going to be beating her for the AEW Women's World title. And then we had a video package describing the Owen Hart Cup tournaments, which I think is pretty cool that they're paying tribute to Owen Hart. And then we had a TBS Women's Title Tournament semifinal match between Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho. And I've been saying for a long time now that the only people who could realistically make it to the finals were Ruby Soho and Jade Cargill. So obviously Ruby Soho beat Nyla Rose with her signature No Future kick and advanced to the finals. And then Malachi Black took on Griff Garrison of the Varsity Blondes. And in the end, Black made Griff Garrison tap out with a single leg Boston Crab. And then Pillman came in to get Black off of Garrison, and Black made Pillman pay for it with his signature spinning heel kick. And then in the main event, CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting took on the Pinnacles, FTR, and MJF. And when Sting came out for the match, he had on CM Punk face paint, and as weird as it looked, I could actually get over that because Sting always has face paint. But then Punk came out with Sting-inspired face paint, and it just looked really fucking weird. Maybe it was just the fact that he shaved off his beard too, but I don't know. I just thought that Punk looked really weird with face paint on. I think he always has, if I'm being honest. But anyways, towards the end of the match, there was a horrific spot where Sting threw MJF out onto FTR and MJF just crashed down onto the floor face first. Like, I have no idea how that didn't break his neck, but I'm thankful that MJF is okay. Did I really just say that? Whatever. Anyways, towards the end of the match, Punk was about to hit the GTS on MJF, but Dax took the bullet for him, and Punk hit Dax with the GTS instead. And then Darby finished it off with the coffin drop, and his team got the win. So overall, a pretty good holiday show tonight, and we still got the second night of the Holiday Bash on Rampage.